The GOP sweeps a number of special elections, signaling a midterm bloodbath for the Democrats. In this video, we're going to look at the results of those elections. We're going to see how the latest round of polling is utterly devastating for Bumblin Biden. And stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll show you how even Democrats are admitting that the 2022 midterms promise to be nothing less than their day of reckoning. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote, your Patriot professor, helping you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent and woke times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button before we begin, gang. As many of you know, we did sell out tickets for our rhino hunting virtual conference boot camp. They are gone, gang. For those of you who registered, March 5th is going to be so awesome. We're going to give an amazing deep dive for you into what you can do to get rid of rhinos and elect tons of patriots all across the nation this midterms. But Rhino Hunting Month continues on for the month of February. For those of you who missed tickets for the upcoming Rhino Hunting Boot Camp, you can still support the fight through my Change America initiative. Just click on that link below or go to change.turleytalks.com to help fight rhinos and support patriots running for office with a daily roundup of your purchases to the nearest dollar. And as a thank you, if you sign up with our Change America program, you're going to get free access to my weekly exclusive Monday night live streams. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link below right now and support patriots while defeating rhinos all across the country. Click on the link or visit change.turleytalks.com. Let's make this the biggest red wave ever. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Well, with all of the geopolitical drama going on, we don't want to lose sight of election events happening right here, particularly at state levels, which are serving really as nothing less than harbingers for the upcoming midterms. Yesterday, there were a number of special elections in a number of states, and let's just say it is indeed panic time for the Democrats. So let's start with my home state of Connecticut. Republican William Pizzuto won handily the special election for the District 71 State House seat. And you'll note, while the Republican won in 2018 by 22 points, with this election, he won by an astonishing 47 points. It was an absolute blowout and represented a 25-point gain from 4 years ago. Let's go to Jacksonville, Florida. The Republican Nick Howland successfully flipped a city council seat there, beating his Democrat opponent. Again, in 2019, the Democrats won the seat easily by 16 points. Yesterday, Howland beat the Democrat by 4 points, representing a 20-point swing. So we got a 25-point gain in Connecticut. We got a 20-point gain in Jacksonville. Are you seeing a little trend here? Because political pundits certainly are. Take a look at the latest polling from Emerson College. Back in October 2020, Emerson College had Joe Biden up 5 points over President Trump. Today, that same polling has Trump over Biden by 4 points. Again, that's a 9-point shift. We're clearly seeing the political needle, as it were, moving way to the right or way to the patriot side of the political spectrum. And I wonder why. Well, Biden thought his wag the dog annex with Ukraine were going to help him. He was sorely mistaken. Just 36% of voters approve of how Biden has handled the Ukraine crisis, and only 40% actually have confidence in his foreign policy. Again, another devastating blow, a very dire blow, as the Daily Mail calls it, to the current state of his presidency. The same Emerson polling has given the Republicans a 9-point lead on the generic congressional ballot. That lead corroborates the latest Trafalgar poll, which found that Republicans currently have a 12-point lead in the generic congressional ballot. If we compare these generic ballots to the last time Republicans stomped the Democrats in the midterms, back in 2010, 2014, 2022 promises to be a bloodbath. I mean, again, this is not right-wing wishful thinking. Democrats are openly admitting this. Jake Campbell, who's a Democrat pollster and who helped conduct the latest CNBC poll, he said it best: if the election were tomorrow, it would be an absolute unmitigated disaster for the Democrats. And gang, seriously, it just keeps getting worse for them. You want more, you got more, right? That's why you come here to this channel. And I know many of you have asked, by the way, how you can support this channel. And really the best way is to just click on the link below, check out our awesome t-shirts and merch. We have some of the best designs you'll get. They're so awesome, like our Let's Go Brandon shirts. I constantly get complimented on these shirts when you hear things like, Dr. Turley, you know, you wouldn't believe how many compliments I get from people whenever I wear this shirt outside. They love it. So whether it's our Let's Go Brandon shirts or our new rhino hunting shirts, you're going to be spreading Patriot hope while supporting this channel. So make sure to click on that link below. And I cannot thank you enough for supporting us here. So look at this, gang. This is amazing. The Republicans have a double-digit lead over the Democrats in terms of voter enthusiasm, in terms of how enthusiastic Republicans are to get out and vote in the upcoming midterms. Historically, the party with a double-digit enthusiasm advantage, right, it almost always goes on to absolutely destroy the other party in the midterms. Right now, the Republicans have an enthusiasm level that mirrors the 2010 and 2014 landslides. Needless to say, Republicans smell blood. Senator Rick Scott of Florida is channeling the 1994 contract with America by going on the offense. He just unveiled an 11-point plan to rescue America, which includes, drumroll, a brand new voter ID law. Scott has actually been advocating for some time now a national voter ID requirement, and now with his 11-point plan, that would indeed become the law of the land. We have to remember, voter ID is one of the single most popular political issues out there. Rasmussen found an astonishing 75% of likely voters support voter ID requirements. Or as I like to put it, 75% of likely voters support what Democrats oppose, right? And by the way, that includes 69% of black voters. 69% of black voters and 75% of voters overall support precisely the kind of voter ID requirements that Democrats are doing everything they possibly can to oppose. So this is a massive winning issue, and you're going to love this. Part of Scott's 11-point plan to rescue America is officially finishing the wall on our southern border and then renaming it after President Trump. How do you like them apples? Now, needless to say, the Democrats are increasingly recognizing the writing on the wall. You may have seen this, but the ultra-leftist oligarch, Michael Bloomberg, is coming out and saying it bluntly. The Democrats are, quote, headed for a wipeout in the midterms. And do you know what he pointed to as evidence for this? The San Francisco school board recalls. That's what. Now, I talked about those recall elections when I was in Fort Lauderdale at the American Freedom Tour over the weekend. Everyone in the audience was so pumped up over it. If you remember, we reported on it a week ago today. Parents came out in droves in a recall effort to vote out 3 radical leftists on the San Francisco school board. And with the vote tally in, the 3 radical leftists were defeated with 70% of the vote. One of them was voted out with almost 80% of the vote. And pundits have since been saying that when even San Francisco libs have had it with wokeness, it's over. I mean, it is over. And again, what we've got to understand here is that wokeness is actually tearing the Democratic Party apart. We now have data that shows that when Democrats are asked questions like, should students be taught that America is stolen land, right? Stolen from Indians, Native Americans and the like. Democrat voters actually split on that issue, more or less 50-50. And that's because the neoliberal wing of the Democratic Party, the Bill Maher wing, is very uncomfortable with all things woke, right? They're more akin to classic liberals than they are to these woke Bolsheviks. And so when confronted with woke issues, the Democrats are more and more splitting apart, whereas the Republicans are they're reacting the exact opposite. When you ask Republicans, should we teach children that America's stolen land, what do they say? Well, 99% of Republicans say, absolutely not. No way. So this is why scholars are recognizing that wokeness is actually galvanizing and unifying the Republican Party, all the while it's tearing the Democrats apart. And that's the recipe for electoral dominance for the foreseeable future. I don't think any wagging the dog efforts by the Biden regime is going to change this calculus. And the local and statewide elections that we're seeing of late corroborate that the midterms promise to be a day of reckoning for the Democrats. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out one of my latest videos I just uploaded on men versus women when men don't hold back. Now, if you're still on the fence as to whether men and women really are different, this video is going to solve it for you once and for all. You're going to love it. And you're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.